But what we talk about is not so ethereal. Apparently, a long time ago, it was revealed that Nintendo wanted to put big badonkadonks on Pikachu. They wanted Pikachu to have a BBL in the front, according to this article. Let's read more. I just want to read the quote. I don't care about all this other shit. Does the quote stand here? Okay, it starts somewhere up here. T.I., because that's his initials, Pokemon Company CEO T.I. said that when Pokemon was first shown in Nintendo of America for localization, they thought it was too cute. The fuck does that even mean? Here we go with head executives not knowing what the hell they talking about, because we like the Pikachu design just how it is. Nintendo of America staff then shared some of their own alternate Pokemon character designs. The designs were apparently so traumatic that T.I. said he won't show those illustrations for anyone as long as I live. I don't think you need to show those illustrations, because we remember what Typhlosion did. We remember. And if you don't know, there was apparently articles where official Pokemon writers were writing lore where Typhlosion was taking kids in the mountain and letting them come out with their buttholes more expanded than it was when it came in. No, I'm not paraphrasing. Yes, I'm trying to say it in a TOS safe way. They kind of looked like the characters from the Cats musical, T.I. said. So, for example, Pikachu was changed into a character shaped like a kind of tabby cat with big badonkadonks. That word is just so fucking stupid. I just find it fun to use. Later in the interview, T.I. was asked to clarify what the design looked like and if it looks similar to when women dress up as they said, hey, when those thick ass Asari chicks dress up as Pikachu at Comic-Con with the big ass bouncing titties with the voluptuous chest, did Pikachu look like that? And this nigga said yes. Exactly, you got it. Nailed the head on the coffin. And for that, I want to say, what the hell were you freaked out Nintendo of America niggas thinking about? You niggas was like, kids won't like this character if they can't beat their meat to it. This is as stupid as that shit that Raven Simone said, where she said most young boys watch the TV show because she had big titties. Nigga, I was 6. No, I wasn't. The TV was on the Disney Channel because mommy knows the Disney Channel shows the kids shows for the little kiddies. So she put it on the Disney Channel. She pressed play. I watch it. A show that had a theme song. That's so Raven. That's so Raven. Came on and I watched it. I didn't flip the channel for no fucking titties, dumbass nigga. Anyway, going back to this. They presented that kind of design to us for real, like dead ass. I thought it was interesting that these niggas were this freaked out because in a sense of appreciating such cultural differences. However, I didn't want to compete in the overseas market with that kind of goont the fuck out thing. Blah blah blah. Is there anything else about his quote? Yeah. He basically said these niggas was on gooner timing and I was like, nah, you don't need to do all that, gang. I also was supposed to read this article last. It was supposed to be a short update to end it off, but now we go from something funny with Nintendo and what they're doing. Actually, no, wait, wrong music. To something sad. Nintendo fans are surprised that a Nintendo Direct sucked ass because their last showcase, apparently people thought they was going to get a real Nintendo Direct and it was only a partner showcase. And apparently it's a game keycard showcase, or so this headline says, but we're gonna read into it. The line between a bad video game showcase and a great one can be, yeah, nigga, we get it. The Mario Maker's revelation that Thursday's presentation would be a partner showcase instead of a direct was the first to blow blah blah blah. Niggas want to see an actual direct. Our last note, the July Direct only offered a few smaller new game announcements, which is the same shit in every direct. I don't know what the fuck you were expecting when you heard direct partner showcase, but whatever. They got Monster Hunter Stories 3, Octopath Traveler 0, and The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales. All games that probably aren't bad, but are extremely niche and something that the majority of Nintendo fan base is gonna go, what the fuck? Where's Mario? And they're just gonna lose their shit and call it trash. It mostly spent its time rehashing stuff we already knew, like Star Wars Outlaws, blah blah blah, Madden, blah 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 blah. Even a look at the next Hyrule Warriors felt thrown together and supremely underwhelming. And there was no big oh shit moment like, say, Gears of War Reloaded also coming to Switch 2. Yeah, it's a fucking partner showcase. I don't know what you niggas be expecting. The litany of Switch 2 fans wish casting prior to the showcase has gotten out of control. And the top 5 spots of most delusional niggas in all of gaming, Nintendo takes up the top 4 spots. Then is Grand Theft Auto niggas. Then is Bloodborne niggas. No more footage of Silk Song, blah 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 blah. Chilling by the Fire, one of the more unusual games, blah blah blah. A bunch of games don't nobody know, don't nobody give a fuck about. And all of them apparently had game key cards, according to this post. Sparking Zero. I don't have much to say about this one, because what the fuck you thought was gonna happen? Like I have no. I thought I was gonna have something funnier to say, but I don't. And last but not least, I want to talk about how the creators of Peak are speaking about the itch.io whole situation that's going on. So to give you a short rundown, basically there was a game that was sexually explicit in the ways of the bag of grapes, but if you remove the silent letter in lasagna from it. I'll give you a second to put that together. So there were some games like that they use as an excuse to try and press Steam and itch.io to take down, and I don't know why. Either I'm misremembering that they pressed Steam and itch.io, or Steam and itch.io didn't take everything down. What the fuck? Why is it reloading? I'll check on that in a second. But they didn't take it down or enact an action fast enough, so they went over their heads and basically went to the. Why did my shit just randomly? Whatever. And I'll deal with that in a second. But they went over their heads and went to the credit card companies, writing a letter to them and shit like that. And the credit card companies basically ran down and said, either you change this up or you're not going to be able to make transactions. Your whole business is going to stop working overnight. Steam and itch are being threatened by an anti-NSFW group in order to force them to remove any content they deem distasteful by petitioning Visa and MasterCard, who are threatening these gaming platforms to cut payment access if they do not remove games, which you may think isn't a bad thing because, you know, Gooner Games bad. But for me, it's not about the fact that it's gooned the fuck out games. Because, like, everybody I've seen talk about this topic, well, everybody I've seen talk about this topic is a fucking adult, so. But we all universally agree, yeah, those excessively pornographic games where they got bag of grapes, if you remove the same letter that's silent in lasagna out, are pretty bad. But censorship in any way, shape, or form leads to a slippery slope. There should be a happy medium where the platform comes up with common sense policy. Like if your game is overly explicit into themes that shouldn't be discussed and expressed, which is very few themes, which basically land on things that are universally illegal no matter where you go, then the game should be allowed to stay up and be represented. After sending blah, 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 it has denied false claims and misinformation and insisted it only raised our objection to those type of games or content that involved SA and torture of women. One thing I want to say about it is I find interesting their verbiage of women, because it's like, and like, don't try to say I'm trying too hard to be a feminist or some shit like that, but I always find it funny when it comes to conversations about sexual violence. They always say torture of women, violence against women. They don't just say against people, period. Sexual torture against people, period, is bad. It shouldn't just be women. It shouldn't just be men. Because to go further into it, it's a certain type of women. And I want to specify non-black women. Yes, it does get that deep. I don't feel like explaining the whole thing here, the whole in-depth map, but it does go that deep. So understand, read between the lines when you see this shit. It's more than just women. Sexual violence against people shouldn't be on any platform, period. Why did you have to specify women? Okay then. And I don't want to hear that, oh, statistically, hey, there are more reports of women reporting sexual violence. Yeah, because most men are ashamed to report that shit. You know how many men been molested and just take that shit to the grave versus women? If they go tell the police, it'll be a solution in a day, more likely than a man to get a solution in his life. Fuck out of here. But anyway, beyond one controversial game called No Mercy, it did not clarify these objections, nor did it elaborate on what these alleged false claims are. I can't speak on that too much because I haven't read their statement, their open letter fully. I've seen bits and pieces of it from different gaming publications, as you've seen here, and as I've done in some off-screen research. I haven't searched through the letter and combed through the letter myself, which I should do that. But from what I've seen, I can't confirm or deny. The fact is, blah, blah, blah. Where's the quote? Just these standards in perspective. Oh wait, just these standards in perspective. Shout previously tried to get GTA 5 banned in Australia. Again, we all agree that GTA 5 is a well, I wouldn't say we all agree because some people don't even know this. GTA 5 is supposed to be a satirical look at not only the world of criminals, but the world at large, because there are more people that are criminals than just the dude outside pulling out a gun robbing people. There's also white collar criminals committing white collar crimes like bank fraud. Those people are criminals just as equally as the nigga sticking up a liquor store because he too stupid to go get a fucking job. That encourages players to brutally murder women for entertainment. It encourages you to kill fictitious characters for entertainment. It's supposed to be a stress reliever, satirical thing. This mischaracterization suggests that any game depicting or allowing any violence against women will be fair game for this kind of moral attack. By that logic, they could take down Mortal Kombat, because in Mortal Kombat, there's no feature where Mortal Kombat can't kick Jade if she's in the match. Like, no, he'll kick that bitch in the face just the same way he'll kick Scorpion, another Scorpion, or Bihan, or any of them niggas in the face. So does he say anything more in terms of response? Okay, they continue by saying, focusing on the most inflammatory games available, they're trying to gain support for a broad band of content, which is the same thing I said. Friends of ours have had their livelihoods jeopardized overnight after having their games removed due to mature content, sexual or otherwise. If Puritan groups are able to dictate what people worldwide, because remember, itch.io isn't just in America, it isn't just in Australia, it isn't just in worldwide. Because what you have to take in consideration is that once these people realize that one person can do it to them, they're gonna feel like two people can do it to them. So instead of just unlisting one or two games, they're gonna say, fuck it, unlist it all because we're trying to make money. So it threatens video games' ability to operate as an art in any way whatsoever, and it'd be foolish to assume that any game is safe. So anything from let's get even safer. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. You could pick Lil Mac and you can uppercut multiple women at once. What's to stop them from saying that game contains violence against women? Take it out back. Shoot it. What about a game like, I don't know, Elden Ring, that encourages you to power up your levels to go beat on a woman, even though she has all these defense mechanisms? You're clearly beating and killing a woman that is trying hard to defend herself. You see how stupid and slippery the slope can get? The point is, people are pushing back against this, like publicly, vocally pushing back against this, because it's a slippery slope to where, like I said, it always ends up turning to fire on like colored people and gay people for some fucking reason. It'd be foolish to assume any game is safe. Aggro grab points are resource page titled "Protect Queer Creators and S Workers. Tell Payment Processors to Stop." assembled by unbeatable developer D-Cell Games. Blah blah blah. Where's more to quote? Beyond immediate implications for games and art, it implies that by controlling payment processing companies, you can even censor another country's free speech, which is true. Yeah, this may become an international thing if this keeps going, because that is a very interesting viewpoint of it. Like, if these international companies can be ran down on and scared into doing something, imagine what niggas will think Australia can run down on niggas and do. They could do everything but send a good breakdancer to the goddamn Olympics. Yeah, I'm throwing ray gun strays. Aggro Crab agrees that the best thing you could do is to call these companies directly and tell anyone who answers how you feel. The more resources they spend listening and the clearer it is that public opinion is against them, the faster this decision can be reversed. The thing about that is, how much of that is AI bots and people listening and AI bots versus real actual employees? And the real actual employees might be trained to just hang the fuck up within 1 second. So, I mean, I would imagine that still would be annoying if you hang up in the first second 300 calls in a row. But yeah, that being said, that is all the yappage I will do for the day. I am off to go play some games.